Hi all, Renee here. I am here today to share with you the cards that I made for Kendra's Cards Challenge number 9. The date of this challenge is January 1st through March 31st, 2023. Not sure if I'll get cards done in February and March, but for sure, here's my January ones. If you're not familiar with Kendra's Card Challenge, I will put a link down below so you can check it out. It's free, lots of prizes, and just some really good card sketches and cutting guides. So this is where we're starting. So for the challenge, which makes 15 cards, I chose to use the Close to My Heart Mix-In Paper Collection for January through March 2023. They are double-sided papers. They're 12 by 12, but this particular card challenge, she always uses 6 by 6 papers, or she always has. So I cut them in half and then cut them in half again to make 6 by 6, and that's what I use. So I could theoretically do this challenge 4 times with these papers, which would give me 60 cards out of 6 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. Pretty good deal. I mean, it's pretty good. So I'll just give you a quick look at the papers. Like I said, they are double-sided, and they are all created to generally go with all the other papers from the catalog for this 3-month time period, as well as coordinate with each other. Now, as I went along, I found that some coordinated with each other much better than others. So I did substitute a few of the papers and came in, since I had extra paper, and came in and recut a couple pieces that I didn't like the way they looked with the papers that I originally cut. I don't pre-select any paper, other than Kendra will tell you if you have any paper that is just one direction, which I did not, that there's certain papers that you should cut your papers out of, or cut your cutting guide, use your cutting guide for those particular ones. So I didn't really have that this time, so I didn't really worry too much about it. But those are the papers. I used several products along the way, and I will show you those as I show you the cards. So for card number 1, this was my take on it. And for this one, I used this little background back here is the Sage ink pad with the watermark, the water brush. And all you do is squeeze the pad like this. And when you squeeze the pad, it's going to put ink on this side. You can't really see it that well because it's a lighter color. I just barely had this wet. You could barely even tell that it was wet. And that's how I ended up with this background behind this beautiful little butterfly. So for the butterfly, that is actually, let me find the stamp set. That is actually a stamp set that you saw me show you in my last haul video. This is the Life Sahoot card making workshop stamp set. So this is an exclusive stamp set to that card making workshop, which I will be making for you probably, I believe, next month or the month after. But I just really love these butterflies. I'm a big sucker for butterflies, and I loved the sentiments because they're so useful for all kinds of cards. As you know, I donate the majority of my cards to Cards for Soldiers, so I try to keep them in areas where I think that they'll be able to use them the most. So these are the dies that come with the exclusive stamp set, and then this is the stamp set itself. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me put it right here. And I've used it and haven't put it back exactly right, so it's probably kind of hard to see. But anyway, and I always keep my little jig, because I always do my die cuts first and then stamp. And I use this little jig made from the dies in my MISTI, and then I know exactly where to place the stamps. It just works easier for me, and I don't have to worry about my dies moving on my Big Shot. So I'll put this away, and I always just keep this because I can keep using it over and over again. So I stamped the Thinking of You sentiment. If I can get this, I'm not going to worry about it. With sapphire ink. I love this color. It's so dark that it kind of reads black, but gives it a little more interest. So that's the color I used for the stamping. So there's the card. I used melon for the 3 little dots, and that's also part of the stamp set. So I used melon, which is our color of the year, for those dots. And then for the butterfly, I kept my colors very simple, and I didn't use every color on every one of the items that I colored, but these are my Tri-Blend, Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. Let me turn them so you can read them. Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, which I know I was a Copic girl, but I'm really digging these markers. They don't have the brush tip like the Copics do, which I really enjoy the brush tip, but for the price and the fact that there are 3 colors in each pen that are already perfectly selected to blend together really helps me out, because I am not by any shape of the imagination a professional, good, whatever colorer. So here, oops, I can't go too far because I'll lose my light. There's the colors that I used. I didn't do any shading at all. It's just simple coloring using the markers. So anyone can do this. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, anyone can do it. So that is card number 1. Then for card number 2, I used the same stamp set for the happy birthday, stamped it in melon. Then these are the dots that come in the Life's a Cute card making workshop. You can also buy them separately. And this is what they look like. And so I used 1 of each size of the circle dots. Now the great thing about these is that they are very, very flat. So when you put this in the mail, you're not going to have a problem at all. Then for this background paper right here, I used Distress Oxide Abandoned Coral, and let me find it. This is the Card Front Stencil Pack Z6093. I used, and you can find all of this stuff on my website, which I'll have linked down below. I used this stencil. Let's see if you can see it. I love using stencils because you can make very interesting backgrounds in any color you like. You don't have to go out and buy, a whole gazillion pack of paper that maybe, 2 or 3 pieces are the ones you want to use. You don't have to do that. You can make your own backgrounds. And I love how this came out. Really, really love it. So that's card number 2. Whoops. That's card number 3. Where'd card number 1 go? I lost card number 1. Let's see what card number 1 looks like. Card number 1 looks like, oh, here's card number 1. Sorry, I got out of order. Sorry about that, guys. So this is card number 3. This is actually card number 1. And for this one, I used the same stamp set. I used the little bee, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it on camera, but I used a little bit of the clear shimmer brush. This is the clear, and it's a wonderful little item. It adds shimmer anywhere. So I used a little tiny bit. Now this one will stay for me to use for my, oops, I'm throwing things, for my personal use, because this does rub off a little bit, just barely, but I don't want to donate it to Cards for Soldiers and get any kind of glitter on anybody. So that's card number 1. We'll put that in order. Card number 3, when I saw this paper, my first thought was water. Water came to mind. Unfortunately, this is a stamp of the month from July, and so it is no longer available, but I wanted to show you, continue to use the supplies you have. Just because something is old doesn't mean it's not good. Unfortunately, you can't buy this from me, but if you really, really like it, it is S2207. And I'm guessing you can probably find it on eBay or Etsy or something like that with someone reselling theirs. So I I stamped the little angelfish. I'll show you the angelfish. I stamped the little angelfish from that stamp set with toffee, and then over that I stamped sending good vibes your way with the sapphire paper, the sapphire ink. Then I took the die from the Life's a Hoot card making kit, and I used that along the bottom here. The other thing that I did was, and I didn't pull that particular, I don't know what I did with that particular embossing folder. This isn't the right one. I have another embossing folder. These are all retired, by the way, but again, you can find embossing folders everywhere. I found a very small dot embossing folder. I embossed it onto the sapphire paper, and then our paper has a white core, so I just lightly rubbed it with this little file. I think it's a nail file from Walmart or something, and that exposed the little white and made my own little dot paper to go along with this whole look. So I love the way this one turned out. Very masculine, which I sometimes have a hard time making masculine cards, but I'll give you a closer look. So I love the way that one came out. So that is card number 4. Card number 5, I absolutely love. This is an older stamp set, but it is still available. And it is D2083, Rain or Shine. And I love the way this one turned out. I colored her with the same colors. I just picked some colors that matched my paper to make it easier on myself. I don't want to make it hard on myself and have like a million different pens, and I'm like, okay, what do I use for what? If I limit myself, and these tri-blend markers make it so easy because there's 3 in each pen and they go together, and yeah, I know I've said it before. Anyway, so I colored her, and then this Rain or Shine I'm Here For You is from the same stamp set. The stamp you can buy it with the die to cut out the girl, or you can just hand cut the girl, or however you want to use her. And then for the background, I did use this dot embossing folder, and I didn't use I thought about using the file on it, but I decided just to leave it the way it is. I thought it looked like just some light rain in the background, along with this paper looking a little bit like light rain in the background. So, oh, and the solid color cardstock I used was all from the Mix-Ins coordinating cardstock pack. So everything was self-contained in one package. So that is card number 5. For card number 6, I kept it pretty simple. This one I stamped in Intense Black, just the happy birthday from the Life's a Hoot stamp set. Pull that back in. The Life's a Hoot stamp set, the butterfly, the same way, use those same four markers. And I love the way this came out. I love the simplicity of it and the cleanness. Then for this card, which is card number 7, I used a mini stamp set, and I tend to lose those because they're so small and they're very inexpensive. I love this one. It's still available on my website. And for this one, I used the sapphire ink to stamp that. I used the circle dies that we have that are in my catalog. Right here, I just used those 2 circle dies to create this. And I love this. Now, this piece of ribbon was just a piece of ribbon that came on something. I don't know where it came from. I don't have a whole roll of it. I have no idea. I think it was tied around maybe a sew sampler package or some other kind of kit. But anyway, I save all those kinds of things and I just throw it in a jar, and then every now and then I'll pull one out. It feels a little bit bright on this, but I can sometimes tend to be too safe in my colors. So I'm going to leave it alone. I think it's cute. I think someone will love it. Every card has the perfect person for it. I'm a true believer in that. So there is card number 7. Card number 8, I thought turned out so cute. That used this tag from the Tags and Dies set, which is also available on my website, and this older stamp set, which is still available which blows me away that it's still available because it is such a good stamp set. There are so many good sentiments in here. So this one was the Just Thinking of You that I used. And then I just had some, I think I got this at Tuesday Morning years and years ago in a multi-pack. It might be American Crafts, I'm not sure. Just some twine that matched what I was working on. I have a whole drawer full of this kind of stuff that I just pick up whenever I see it on clearance. But I love the way this came out, really, really cute. And this particular paper right here, I was running a little bit low on it. So there's actually, this paper does not go underneath here. I just cut it in half and used it on each side and placed the tag so that it's right here on the edge is the edge of that paper. So that's a really good way when you're running short on a little bit of paper, but you want something. Cut it in half. You can't see what's behind there anyway. And I think that I also cut, yes, I did. I cut this circle right here out of this background. So this background has a big hole in the middle, but again, no one will ever know. So use your supplies to their full extent. And then I put a little bit of the twine on there. Cute, cute. Then card number 9, I think this one turned out really, really pretty. This is the melon. I used the markers. Now what I did with this one, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, I used a little bit of really thin dimensional right there and right there and right there, and then put regular adhesive on the 4 corners of the wings. So what it did was it created the butterfly look like it's coming up off the paper with its wings going down. Can't really tell on camera, but in person it is you can really see it. So it gives it that little extra without being so thick that it's going to cause problems in shipping. So love the way that came out. Oh, I also edged this with melon because I wanted to keep the background paper looking very similar. This is sage background paper, and I wanted to keep it similar, but I needed something to delineate the edge. And the melon worked out perfectly by grabbing the melon from this background paper. So use your inks in all kinds of ways. Okay, this one is card number 10. I used the heart dies, which I think they're still available on my website. When you're on my website, just type heart thin cut, and I think you'll find those. I use these a lot. If not, really any heart die will work, and the nesting heart dies are really good because you know that you can get them to sit together like this one. And I ran the larger die through this same embossing folder just to give it a little more interest. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera, but I'll do my best to show it to you. Another one of the butterflies, and this butterfly I colored completely before I even started with the light of the coral blend. Then I colored the other colors over the top. That gave the butterfly that coral blend edge, which pulled in the coral from over here and in the zip strip. These right here are zip strips from the tops of our papers. They all have a really pretty design, and you can cut them off and use them. So nice. I love the way that came out. Then number 11, I kept this pretty simple, and I also have a little sticky so I can tell you where these cuts came from. This cut is actually, the number on it is M4133, C as in Charlie, 1 on the Cricut. I cannot remember which cartridge it is from, but it's from one of the Close to My Heart cartridges. However, the old Close to My Heart cartridges, if you have Cricut access, you have access to all of them. Now, I personally own all those cartridges, so even if I don't have Cricut access, I can access this. But unfortunately, with the new way they've done Cricut, Craft Room, or whatever they call it now, I can't figure out which cartridge this actually came from, the name of it. So sorry about that. If anyone knows how to do that on this new version of Cricut, Design Space, Craft Room, whatever they're calling it, please let me know down in the comments because I can't figure it out. I clicked everywhere trying to figure it out, and all I could get was the number of the image. And this is just 2 pieces. It's white and black. And then I took the dark coral blend marker and just marked around the outside of it to give it some extra dimension. So just some extra interest. Really, this is a very, very simple card, a great way to use up some scrap pieces that you have, because these are just an inch tall and probably, I'm going to say 3 3/4 inch long, I'm guessing. Not very big at all. And it's a great way to use up some of your scraps. So that's card 11. Card 12, this also used a Cricut cut, and these Cricut cuts I've had forever and ever. Whenever I do Cricut, I usually try to fill up an entire mat full of something, and then I make them all and then throw them in a bucket with all the different die cuts, and then I can just grab them easily when I'm looking for a certain sentiment. This one, the number on this one is M as in Mary, 8 3 C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, 1 6 F as in Frank. If for some reason you didn't get that, back up the video or leave me a comment down below. I will be happy to give you those again. So we're going to put that sticker right back. So this one turned out really cute. I used those embellishing dots down at the bottom, a medium size, and then 2 small ones on each side. So I love the way that came out. Very simple, but a great thank you card. Then this one is using that great stamp set, A Million Reasons D2072. Hello, my sweet friend. And I really like the way this came out as well. And those are some more of those embellishment, but these are the hearts. And I just think, again, this is a great way to use up those scraps that you have. Any color paper you have, or if you only have white paper, feel free to use your ink to create a color or use your markers to create a color. I've done that so many times. When I can't find the right color cardstock, I just grab a piece of white and make it what I need it to be. So there's that. And then these two I'm going to show you together because they are extremely similar. As a matter of fact, these are 2 pieces of the same paper. Now, I did flip it because this one is supposed to be that same paper, just the other side, just flipped a different direction. But I liked the other side as well, so I wanted to use them both. And then I also used this A Million Reasons stamp set. I thought this was fun, A Million Reasons to Celebrate You. I thought this particular sentiment would be so useful for so many things. It could be birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be wedding, it could be graduation, it could be a new job, a new house, a new baby. I mean, there's so many things you can use this particular sentiment for. And then this is one of the zip strips that I just slashed across the middle there to give it a little more interest. And I love the way this came out. It was really easy to do. So that's card 12, or that is card 14. This is 12. Not that it matters because they look so similar. So here is this one, same exact idea, but I flipped the paper because this is the other side of this dotted toffee and white paper is this sapphire and white paper. So I just flipped it over and glued it down, put a zip strip on it, again, stamped the sentiment on there. Don't be afraid to stamp your sentiments directly on your color cardstock if you're using a dark ink. This is using just intense black ink, which this ink is great. This ink is a very useful all around because you can use it with watercoloring, you can use it with alcohol markers. It does take a little bit longer to dry, but not horribly, and it gives you a really crisp image. So I use intense black for almost everything that I use black for. So there is that. So that is all my cards. If you have any questions about my cards or Kendra's card challenge in general, just leave me a comment down below and I will be happy to get back with you. Again, I will leave a link to Kendra's website down below. She also has a fun Facebook group where you can go to get ideas for each and every card, see how other people interpreted the sketch. Because what you get are all these sketches, and then you make your card from the sketch. You have the papers already pre-cut using the cutting guides that she provides. However, how you decorate them, how you move them around, the changes you make, that is completely up to you, but this just gives you a start. So if you have a hard time finding a start, this is a great way to do it. So 15 cards turned out really, really cute. They were so fun to do. What I did was I just watched videos and I watched some Disney Channel or Disney Plus. Just had a great time just doing all of these cards. So I thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're a subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, as well as just make things that people like to watch. I love making videos. I love crafting. I love sharing what I do. So if there's anything in particular that you want me to share that you're interested in, just leave me a comment down below. I love to get those ideas. I love to put together things that you all like to watch. For me, I watch YouTube to get inspired and, to be honest, to be entertained. There's many times that I'm kind of bored and I just turn on YouTube, and the next thing I know, I've got a million ideas racing through my head, and I go and play with my paper, or I go do some sewing, or any one of a number of crafts that I love to do. So with that, I've talked too long. I'm going to let you go. If you're not a subscriber, if you would hit that subscribe button and help me get to 1,000 this year, that would be so appreciated. You will not, it doesn't cost you anything. You will not get a million emails. It doesn't, all it does is let YouTube know that you like this, that you like my channel, and it'll show up on your subscription list, and you can see when I post a new video. If you want to hit the bell, go right ahead. It'll give you a little notification when I upload a new video. I have retired from my day job, so I am hoping to be able to make more videos for you. Although now that I'm retired, I'm like, how did I have time to work? Because I'm so busy. I've heard people say that before, and I'm like, oh, you're crazy. No, they're not. It's absolutely truthful. So for those of you who are retired, please let me know. Are you feeling the same way, that you're like, how did I have time to work? I don't understand this. But anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.